There are many kinds of briefcases in the world, like the ones that nerds use to carry office supplies.
Travel briefcases for shaving equipment and undies.
However, the more interesting ones might contain recording devices for espionage, or diamonds for buying nefarious things, or perhaps a pair of face-off guns.
But if you're HK, your briefcase probably carries submachine guns.
Shake and bake, baby! Let's go! James, you want to get in on this shit?
Okay, you guys enjoy yourselves? You have your fun?
A lot.
Okay.
A ton.
Well, allow me to take it up a notch, show you how we do it with the MP7.
That's awesome.
All right, everyone, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Great to be back for another edition of the... Can we call ourselves at least once a year the HK Syndicate? Is that a fair thing?
I think it's a given.
Mandatory.
The fans know.
It does seem.
It's in the comments section.
Yeah, the people have kind of spoken on that. So whatever. Perhaps we'll just dabble once a year. We're the HK Syndicate, and we'll see how that goes. But today we are talking about briefcase guns, which are pretty much just one of the coolest things that exists at the end of the day. Who doesn't want to shoot a submachine gun from a briefcase?
Who wouldn't want to carry it around in a beautiful atmosphere like this?
Absolutely. So we will be talking about the MP5K briefcase, something most of you are probably aware of, something you are, decently probably not aware of is the MP7 briefcase, because really it's not that long ago that was almost like a mythical thing that even you knew existed, but who knows where we're going to find one of those.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun video. I know whenever we have you guys along, we get to bring out things that we normally wouldn't get to showcase, and I think that the fans are going to be really excited to get to see. This is kind of give the fans what they want, even if they don't know that they want it yet.
They don't know they want it. They shall shortly. But for those that, come on, everyone knows you are at this point, but maybe for those who are tuning in for the first time and they're like, who's this devilish handsome bastard
next to us?
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm James. I work with H&K. I have twofold responsibilities. I oversee our training department, and I also work within our business development team. So we manage all of the current catalog of weapons and then all of the new product development stuff that we have. So as a Super HK fan myself, it's a great role to be in because I can champion the causes of all the things, the special project I've always wanted to see them do, as well as a lot of the customer feedback. So
and you still get to train.
And I still get to train.
Yeah.
So
We shall be training
awesome.
and do things
tomorrow
like
morning.
this.
Yeah. We got a full week ahead here. We're doing our training class that'll kick off tomorrow. But anyway, let's start getting into some historical context and talking about briefcase guns. Guys, a special thanks to the sponsor of today's video. That would be the good folks over at National Armory. They enjoy HKs, and today we're talking about briefcase guns. The folks at National Armory, they might be like, hey, let's make a briefcase for a 40 mic launcher. How about that? That'd be a sweet briefcase. Or we could do a Mark 23 briefcase, or how about a briefcase for the old GMG, the grenade machine gun? It'd be a robust briefcase, but I imagine someone of Herculean strength could potentially carry that. But if you're in the Pittsburgh, PA area, National Armory would be a great place to pop on into. And if you're not local, that's no problem. I'm not local, but I tuned into their Instagram. They actually threw something on it recently that immediately got them a text message from me saying, so is that like actually an available thing? And they said, yes, it is. And I was like, well, you're gonna need to throw that onto the old Irish Panthers tab there. And I gotta pay that damn thing off now. So anyway, if you're in Pittsburgh, great. If you're not, no worries. Just stay tuned. You'll find National Armory. You can search it. We'll be talking about them, all that good stuff. So we appreciate the good folks over there. Thanks, National Armory. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, everyone. So before we start going to the range and shooting these and doing all the cool, fun guy stuff, give people a little bit of like maybe historical context on, you know, we see a briefcase, might go, yeah, no one really uses briefcases. Well, yeah, this is not really from the year 2025. So why would something like this have existed?
Yeah, the intent was to be able to discreetly carry something more capable than a handgun. So obviously, you got a pistol, it's underneath your sport coat, whatever that is. That may be able to do one thing, but if you wanted to have a little bit more firepower to lay down some suppression and be able to get off the X, as we say, having something like a machine pistol was a much better option, but it's much more difficult to carry a machine pistol discreetly. So this was one of the solutions.
Later in the video, we'll show you a couple of accessories.
We certainly will. But this came from a time period when people
Everyone
actually carried briefcases, so you would not be out of place, especially in the kind of dignitary protection roles that we're talking about here, where you would see people with a briefcase. So this concept, which some people would look at this and say, oh, this is like totally unrealistic, like you'd never be accurate on this. This was meant to be a very close range, get off me type gun thing to get yourself off the X. So that situation where you're like, oh shit, he's got a gun, bring the briefcase up, lay down that suppression on that individual, and then move in the opposite direction, or allow other team members to then get into the action at that point. So pretty functional. There were two versions of the briefcase, version 1 and 2. This version, obviously, that we showcase here, you fire the weapon from the briefcase. The other version is where the briefcase falls away and the gun remains connected to the carrying handle, and you fire the gun like you would normally fire.
Well, there's the other one.
Technically a third. I was just going to say that.
To shove your
Then you
hand
put
in
your
the damn
hand through.
thing.
You are correct, but that was
Satchel.
that was a bag. It was a leather carrying case that actually predated this style. Back when people were carrying leather satchels before that as well. But yeah, we used to have one of those here, and I don't know if it didn't survive the last move, or I just haven't uncovered it. But it was in the gray room before, and it had more of a like shove your hand breakaway thing, and you could then manipulate the safety and fire through the other side.
Yeah. So as I don't know the answer to this, is not research I even thought about, but is the MP5K briefcase or leather satchel, sort of that combination of products, was that like the first time anyone done something like this? Like I've never really seen another.
There were other cases. So obviously the one that I think people have seen most familiar was the Ronald Reagan assassination attempt at the Hilton,
the Uzi,
where you saw the Secret Service agent, deploying the Uzi. He actually had a case. You couldn't fire from the case, but that's how he carried and transported that Uzi.
That very famous photo.
Usually you see the picture of him like pushing people away. There's another photo taken from a greater distance. It's zoomed in on him, and you can actually see the case open on the ground on the sidewalk.
I haven't seen that actually.
That's cool.
And then for, I believe it was the MAC-10, they offered a case that you could shoot from as well.
Dear Lord.
But it was nowhere near as, like, it's kind of a amateurish job.
Well, of course.
Thing.
It's
It would not have
not
held up.
H&K, right?
You can't control a MAC-10 with 2 hands on it. Good luck in a briefcase. Have fun with that nightmare. So, okay, so MP5K briefcase, we'll go to the range and show you practically how it works, but yeah, what should we show people about that?
Yeah, so it's it's kind of a Samsonite type hard plastic case.
Is there really any other briefcase?
Yeah.
You're gonna go Samsonite.
Swanson.
Right? Yeah, slippy, slappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So close. Yeah. on the front open, obviously you can see here that there is an opening here where the bullet's going to leave the barrel and go out through the case. There are actually, the cases came with a set of keys to lock it, and then these little rubber plugs that you would put in there and cover that up so it's not as obvious. You have that when you fire the gun. Obviously, the rubber plug gets blown out of the case. To open it, you simply push the tabs on the side to unlock it, and then it swings open. And you can see in this one we have an MP5K. They also offered a version later for the MP5K PDW with the longer barrel, but this is for the original K, and you can see there's a barrel extension that mounts there. And then they use the same HK claw mount.
Yeah, it's like stainless steel, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was curious what it was at the metal.
Yeah.
Yep, like a barrel extension.
Yeah,
It's cool.
Same HK claw mount that we mount all our optics onto, which attaches it to the case itself. And then what you'll see is there's actually a lever that goes behind it that actuates it. So what you would do is you would load up the weapon, put the bolt forward, put it on whatever position you wanted the selector to be on, and then here's your safety on the top. When you wanted to engage, you would pull back on the safety. That would allow you to pull the trigger. The trigger activated this lever, and it would fire. And on a single shot, you would have to continually pull individual shots. If you put it on full auto, I would hold it down until I either ran out of ammo or I decided I was done with those bursts.
Or the dude fell.
Threat falls to the ground.
Exactly. If you, once you do fire, all the rounds empty casings would be ejected into the case and hang on in there. And then once you make it through shooting, you then have to make the determination, do I open up the case, pull back the charging handle and remove one magazine and go on to the spare magazine section and pull it off and load it, charge it, and then close the case up and continue firing? Do I reload the gun and unhook it from here and then go machine pistol and leave the case behind? Or do I transition to another weapon and continue firing? Or do I throw this case at the guy and go to fists with him? But most likely you're just going to fire that one magazine out of the weapon, and that's going to be the end of the situation.
It's epically cool.
Epically cool.
And these occasionally I still see pop up on the market. Like this is not gray room only. Like there are
some that made
floating in
it
the
out,
wild.
that
Yeah.
made it out into the wild, and they are a very collectible thing for
Yes.
the guys who have legal machine guns, and MP5 series guns are very popular. They love to get a K, do this, take it out. It's the barbecue type gun. It's the great thing to have when you're out flexing on your buddies at the range, and let everybody take a run from. And it's actually, as we'll find out when we go to the range, takes a little bit of practice to get good at.
It does.
But once you do, it's very satisfying.
Totally. The other option
In
would be
multiple ways.
would be to cheat and just shoot it like at basically a point blank range. That'd be another way to be
that's
accurate
true.
with it.
Or as it was intended to be employed.
Yeah. But people would consider that in
Cheating.
a competition style scenario a little bit of a dirtbag move. Is all I'm saying.
I would consider
Talk about the pot
winning.
calling the kettle black.
I would just call it winning. But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how the video shakes out here, everyone. Now that I'm riled up, should we just go ahead and cut to the range?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. All right, everyone, let's do it. Let's go practical demonstration, just really sort of, like you said, there's some sort of short videos out there, but really never, not much in the way of like, here's really how this bad boy meant and sort of, how it's meant to be used and all that.
Okay. Before I do that, I need to pause for a minute and just, because you haven't allowed me to have a proper, season 4 intro. I've been out here all day with you guys, sweating under the sun.
This is true.
Which is a lot for me. I'm
Yes.
used to the air conditioning now.
Yes.
But I think we need to just sit on it for a moment that this is season 4 of the HK video series.
Yes.
4 years.
Which is pretty cool.
It is.
And if you'll hold this for a second,
Okay.
I think what we need to do is really just say it as it is. I mean, give the fans what they want. They've all been saying it for years, and really, you know, come out and say that.
Oh man,
We've got to go ahead and change up what we call.
Look at this bad boy.
Because I brought you guys some too.
Oh, now I have seen this bag carried around for 2 days
Because
now.
I've been trying to get to the damn intro point, and
Knowing
you
that
keep-
something
you keep
was
blowing it
here.
off, and I'm not wearing this stinky shirt for another day of filming.
This is true.
So I got one for you, Jake.
Oh man,
I had to special order it in Sasquatch
That's a 3X.
size,
That's a
but they
3X.
also have one for you. Okay.
Yeah.
And
which is
I didn't forget you. They had teen sizes, so you're good to go
yes.
too. So we're
Now
all
that
Dude, thank
good. Big
you.
thanks to our man Kevin at DoWork.com
man.
for putting these.
that's actually fantastic.
That's cool. Thank
Guys,
you,
it
Kevin.
is definitely safe to say at certain moments of the year we are the HK Syndicate. We
And
have
I'm running out of
earned,
clean shirts for this trip, so you just solved the problem.
Yeah,
And who doesn't need another black T-shirt?
Well, that's
Win-win.
all I wear.
Exactly.
It's almost like you know me.
Win-win. And I'm glad they went really small and subtle on the logo.
They did. They did.
It's just understated.
He didn't want to make it too minimalistic.
Yes.
This is awesome. Thank you.
You're very
Well, this is
welcome.
fantastic.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
So with that said,
Okay.
let's kick into the briefcase. And then to prep the weapon for use, you would go ahead and pull the bolt back to the rear and lock it in its open position, and then take your loaded magazine. It'll fire either your 15s or your 30 round mags, and then you send the bolt forward again, chambering around. And then what you would do is set the selector on whatever fire position you want, whether you want it to be in semi-automatic, or obviously in our case, we're going to switch it over to fully automatic.
And obviously I guess we'll shoot, and then we'll maybe commentate on sort of, you know, what you would do after that fact, if you got to that stage of the fight. If
Certainly. Let's have you shoot it, and then we'll show you how to take care of it after that portion's done. Okay.
So in terms of, well, you'll navigate it in terms of showing us exactly how I would hold that.
Sure. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to hold it off to your right side like you would normally be carrying it and fire to that point, because the recoil will have it drag back and you could end up shooting yourself in the leg. And because there is no aiming system on here, the intent is that you would bring it up horizontal against your body, brace it against you for recoil management, and then you would do a little bit of elevation adjustment to get it to be at the right height of where you want to do. And then you would burst fire until you get on a target, and then you can lay in the rest of the way. So give it a shot, see how you do.
Okay. Crispy, you want to get a camera on target? Okay, everyone, so I'm going to line up.
Brace the hips. Brace
Yep.
the hips.
Ready my hips. Would you typically thrust out as you do this, or just kind of natural?
More of a wrist movement.
Like as I take off the safety and I press the trigger, do I try to give some extra velocity to the bullets?
I don't even know how to answer that.
Okay, well, we'll give it a go. We'll see. It's just all science, you know, really, at the end of the day.
Science, yeah.
Birds
Okay.
and the bees.
Safety off. This is about 5 yards, everyone. Left. Okay.
So the thrusting actually allowed you to get those headshots at
Yeah.
the end. That
Yeah.
was
So
useful.
Maybe not recommended, but also not recommended.
Correct.
You know?
And you got 20 rounds. I mean, I'll take that.
Yep.
I mean,
That's 20 rounds.
he's hurting.
Yeah.
The hip thrust was an A-box head zone. So, like, I mean, good job.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm actually
I think the
surprised.
thing for people to remember is this was not intended to be a precision fire weapon system.
No.
It was a get off me type
Yeah.
of employment. A close range protective detail. Oh shit, he's got a gun. Suppress, lay down that fire so that your dignitary can get out of the way or that you can transition. The challenge is once you've run out of ammo, now
Yeah.
you open up the case, obviously all the smoke wafts out of there, and now you have to make the decision is, do I drop the case and transition to my secondary weapon, or do I then pull
Lock
back the
back.
bolt, take the
Off.
empty mag out,
On.
grab the new mag, reload it, close the case back up and continue firing? Or do I reload and then disconnect the weapon from the case and go machine pistol style? So you have some options, but in most cases it was just firing that 130 round mag and then you're getting out of the situation.
Yeah.
And we also saw some instances of some of the operators who would actually use 9mm tracers to allow them to be able to
Smart.
get themselves
That's
on
cool.
target, because obviously we all know if you're shooting at bad guys, you're not going to see nice definable holes in cardboard to let you know where your impacts are.
Yeah.
So they'd stack them like every 3 to 4 or 5 rounds, throw a tracer. That's actually really smart.
That's actually very clever. Chris, why don't you take that other mag?
Yeah. And these just roll out or pop straight up?
Just pull hard.
And people will obviously notice the shells stay in the case.
They do.
There is no voodoo witchcraft to get those out other than you just got to dump them out.
So if you do decide to run away with your case, just notice you're going to be jangling all the way down the street.
Which is kind of festive. If this was a Christmas themed shooting, like you're actually on brand.
Die Hard?
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie.
There you go. There you go.
I really like that there's that safety integrated into the handle too.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, let's give it a rip. What was that motion, Jake? Like?
Just, yeah.
Okay. And it's just one thrust, not multiple?
I did multiple.
Oh, okay.
That's really dealer's choice.
Well, let's try this. Here we go.
There it is. You started high.
I started high. Yeah. The thrust got me, you know?
Oh, it actually was counterproductive.
Yeah, a little too much elevation for someone my size.
Okay. Interesting.
And then again, when you're done, just open the case up, clear the weapon out.
Enjoy the smoke.
Put the safety back on when you're done. And obviously, to give a full admin check, I would want to dismount the weapon from the mount, make sure the chamber is clear. But again, a pretty cool system. One that's obviously outdated from this time period because briefcases aren't much in use, but at the time period was pretty effective.
Yeah.
I bought a briefcase like 4 months ago.
For this?
There you go.
No.
There you go.
No. Just because I needed a briefcase. So maybe
they're not
they're not that dated, you know. Some of us are still buying these damn things.
What'd you pick it up for?
To put gold 1911s in.
No, like how much did it cost?
Oh, well, it was an eBay special, you know. I don't think it was outrageous or anything. But as cool as you guys are thinking this is, you probably at this point like, yeah. How about that MP7 briefcase? So let's go back over to the gray room and look at that hotness. Checkmate Mags. They're sponsoring the video today. They do not make magazines for HK briefcase guns. That might be an obvious statement. They do make magazines for a lot of other things, including 2011s. Now, I'm going to shoot this Checkmate UHC mag on Crispy Visuals, new Alchemy full rail high cap behind the camera there. Count these. The round count becomes very important on this mag. Are you happy your gun survived? I haven't dropped it yet. I would never drop your gun, although I almost did earlier by mistake. Anyway, the Checkmate UHC mags, 19 rounds. That's a 126 millimeter tube. This should be 17 rounds. All that we know about shooting 2011s tells you this mag should hold 17 rounds. Except the wizards over there at Checkmate managed to get extra 2 rounds in the mag. And if you shoot 2011s, one, you probably already shoot Checkmate mags. You just don't know it because they're probably labeled with a different manufacturer's name on them because they OEM mags for a lot of the 2011 companies. But yeah, 19 rounds, standard 17 round tube. That is utterly badass. So we do appreciate Checkmate for sponsoring the video today. These come with a lifetime warranty. They are made in the good old freaking USA. So if you're on Team America, you should probably get yourself Checkmate Max. Appreciate their support. We'll go ahead and move on with the show. Crispy, I'm not going to drop your gun. Don't worry. The MP5K briefcase people have seen. There's not a ton out there. Don't get me wrong. It's still very rare, but we now venture into the territory of, I can virtually guarantee people they have not seen this.
Yeah, I don't think I've never seen it, demonstrated anywhere on the YouTube sphere out there.
Not even on the Twofold Hunt Tactical page, huh?
No,
Jeez.
no. It was a product that I was aware of that we had at H&K, but I'd never seen myself until we were, doing a little organization around here, and I was like, ooh, I know what that is, and I know the guys who would want to see that. So I'm glad it made it into season 4.
So obviously, well, spoiler alert, everyone, there's a freaking MP7 inside of that bad boy. I guess you already saw the opening. You connected the dots on that, so we're not hiding anything from you at this point. So, I mean, that comes much later in the life cycle of briefcase guns, much later. I mean, we would have had to have been talking, 2010-ish or something. 2000s at the very least.
Yeah, definitely a carryover from the fact that we had an MP5K operational briefcase. So it just kind of makes sense to carry that into the MP7.
And are we aware of any use or anything? Like, I mean, do we know anything about real-world application of this?
You know, I think after this video gets out, you're going to have the Hollywood production companies calling us for the next John Wick movie or something.
We're available.
You know, yeah. So
we'll make them better. Number 4 was garbage.
I was going to say, I'm not available if they continue to go those
we'll make them
trajectory
better.
they're going.
We'll get you some better guns.
Sorry.
yeah, I'm not aware on the MP7, but the MP5K briefcase that we just showed previously, I'd seen it in H&K's catalogs and things like that in its original form, but it wasn't until I was in the Marine Corps and we were actually invited to come up and do a private tour within Aberdeen Proving Grounds. They have a special threat weapons area, and we got to go into this room where they had just a collection of foreign weapons that had all been captured from different areas. And when I walked in, I was immediately drawn to the fact that there was a MP5K briefcase sitting over on a shelf. And I asked the curator there, I was like, okay, all these things have been captured. Where did you capture that? And he said when they went into the Panama invasion and Delta was chasing down Noriega, they cornered him in a church and he held up there for quite some time. And when he finally came out, they captured off his bodyguard. Had that MP5K briefcase.
No
with
way.
That.
That's rad.
The one I got to first get my hands on had previously been with Noriega.
That's epic.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Epic.
Which, I mean, probably there's some operational use then.
You'd
for
have
that
to
guy.
imagine.
Yeah.
You'd have to imagine. Pretty damn cool. So, range time? To show people like sort of practically how this bad boy works. It's fundamentally different design. So let's go to the range and let's shoot it. Okay. Really something that people simply do not see.
Yep. I didn't even know it existed until we started prepping this.
Exactly right.
So,
and I knew it existed, but I didn't know we had one until we were doing, reorganization, taking responsibility for my area of operations within H&K, and I uncovered this, and I said, I know exactly what that is, and I know exactly the guys who are going to want to show it.
We are he.
Show it to all the fans out there.
We are he. So, fundamentally different design. So, kind of break down how this thing works.
Yeah, so obviously the challenge and the downside to the original MP5K operational briefcase is the gun is fixed to the case. I have to fire it from the case. It makes it very difficult to aim, and it makes it difficult to employ after you've dumped that first magazine. How do I reload it? How do I continue to engage? With the MP7 operational briefcase, the briefcase actually falls away and the handle becomes mounted to that. So I can run the gun just like I normally would as soon as it's out of the case. So the MP7, obviously a very modular system. On the sides, you have these Picatinny rail sections that can be added for any kind of mounting of enablers. The carrying handle for the case actually has this mount that slides over top of your left side Picatinny rail, and then it locks into position. And now it's mounted to the weapon.
It's actually very simple concept,
on and
actually.
off. Correct. So if you got to ditch that real quick.
You hit the lever, push it forward, and now it's off the weapon again. So the ability to mount it and dismount it is very easy. So once you've done that, you would mount either a 20 or 30 round magazine. It will not fit in the case with the 40 rounders. And in this case, you can leave it on safe. You don't have to put it in a fire mode like you do.
Because you're going to drop it anyways.
I can leave my sights up, or as you guys can see, there's also real estate. If I wanted to have an optic on there, I could, and it doesn't interfere with it. I'm going to leave my folding vertical grip in the down position, though you can mount it up if you want. And I'm going to release the stock. Instead of it's all the way locked position, just release it. Then you open up the case, and you'll notice there's a red tab here on the front of the carrying handle, and there's a red tab on the case. This lets me know that's how I orient it. The release is this button, and you'll see when I push on that lever, it actuates these locking tabs, which are built into the case. So press in the locking tabs, then push down on the case, and now it locks into that side. Close the case up, and now when I'm carrying the case, everything's fine, the weapon's completely safe. When I press onto this release, the case falls away. I can then extend the stock, take the safety and put it on semi or full automatic fire, and engage. And if I want to, I can very rapidly remove that and then continue reloading and carrying on the gunfight if I need to. So very rapid to deploy this weapon system. And I think you're going to find your hits are going to be much more accurate
let's hope so.
with this than what we saw with the MP5K operational briefcase.
Jake's really bummed that there's no hip thrusting with this one, you know?
Yeah, well...
But when shooting the gun, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Those hips don't lie, brother. Do whatever you need to.
If you want to hip thrust while you do this, you go right ahead. But it's not required. Let's just say that.
It is advised.
So as a left-handed shooter, you're going to hold the case in your right hand so that it drops away, and then you grab the pistol.
I'll do it over the table just to preserve our precious case here. Okay, so I'm going to go slow. I haven't actually done this. This is a live demo. So we're going to go boom, boom.
And I would say that shot grouping was a lot better than what you did with the MP5K.
And I'll be perfectly honest, I wasn't even looking at the sights. Yeah. I was close enough, I was just instinctually shooting.
Just sending it?
Yeah, that is epically cool.
So this is way more thought out and refined than the MP5.
Than that version of your MP5K.
Do you know the years that they were developed, like apart?
Yeah, so obviously that one was developed for the MP5K in that 1980s time frame.
Okay.
Originally, they actually had a leather briefcase that had like a push-through separation. We have the pictures of that in the Vickers Guide thing. Obviously, this came out when the MP7 was released. So a little bit of time difference. There is also an operational briefcase of the MP5K like this as well, where it falls away.
Okay.
But you can't use the sights as well. You definitely can't put an optic on there on that case.
That is sick.
That is so cool.
So let's reload that mag.
Yeah.
And you get a rep of that.
Okay.
I'm ready, big guy.
Let's go. Man, that's awesome.
So satisfying.
That is so cool, dude.
It really is.
That, and like with a little bit of practice, you get fairly quick with that.
Yeah.
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 You could.
Yeah.
And I think, again, if with a red dot optic on there, that you would be able to pick up quicker than trying to acquire the front and rear sights even better. But I like the fact that it deploys so quickly, and I really like the fact that all you have to do is just flip that and slide it off.
Yeah.
It's not, a hex key type mount that you got to have a special tool to get off. You can clear that out, reload, and get on to your
Very
business.
smart.
Yep.
So with that said,
awesome.
very, very cool. But there are actually some, even though this video is about briefcase guns, there's some other just lesser seen, very cool MP5 and MP7 accessories, and we figured we'd show you those. Cool guy accessories.
Very cool guy.
Lead the dance.
Yeah, so when the MP5K PDW was released as a personal defense weapon, the initial contract requirement coming out of SOCOM was for the ability to have a discrete carry option for them to be able to deploy these things when they're wearing clothes in a nondescript manner, as well as for executive protection type details like what you'd see with the Secret Service. So H&K worked with a company called Eagle Industries, and they created this shoulder holster rig that you can see here. It's actually, usually when you would see it in promotional type things, it was done with the MP5K because that's the weapon that we were promoting at the time, but it'll actually work with your full-size MP5 or a standard MP5K as well. They'll all fit into the system. You can see nylon type shoulder harness, carries 2 spare 30-round mags on the side, and then it was intended just from the compactness of having it underneath your jacket to run a 15-round mag in the gun as it deployed. So I'll show you through this and then we'll put it on. Simple Velcro closure with a button snap on each one of the magazine pouches. And then you can adjust it for the length and width of the actual operator. And then on the rig, you could either run it without a stock and use a machine pistol type mount and mount onto the sling loop. That would be on a standard MP5K right on here to this HK snap hook design, or You can run it with the telescoping A3 stock or with the side folding stock. And what you'll notice here is there's an additional lanyard, which is designed that once you deploy it, as you extend it away from your body, the extension pulls this open into the locked position, and now you can deploy it. And what you would simply do when it's under your body is just reach up and with your thumb hit this release, and then the weapon would fall away from its interior carrier and it would deploy from there.
Okay.
And when you ran out of ammo, you just transition to the reloads you had on the side.
Gosh, that's cool.
Well, let's see this bad boy in action.
Okay.
Yeah, that is some gangster stuff right there.
Okay, once you can see now, I've got the rig mounted on. It's got sling loops that mount into your belt to keep it steady. You put your jacket over top. When you're ready to deploy, you just simply sweep that thumb safety off, and as you extend the weapon away from your body, it extends the stock. Sweep the safety off, fire the weapon, and then if you need to do your reload, you could just switch to one comes over here. And what I like about this is you can drop them with the bullets facing up, come right up into position, and then get right back onto target again.
That is
pretty
so
cool system. If I didn't have the collapsing side folding stock and I had an A3 type 1, I can mount it on the stock and it'll pull away from it. And if I had a standard K and I wanted to release it, or I didn't want to have this, there's another lanyard here, I pull in and now it releases the gun off of there, and I can maneuver, do whatever I need to do from there. So pretty handy little thing, a little bit loose, but definitely carries the weight pretty well. If you had to wear this all day long, you certainly could, and definitely an effective system, and one that a lot of the collectors, if you have MP5Ks, guys are always hunting to find these kind of kits these days on the secondary market.
Epic.
Yep.
Gosh, that is cool.
Crispy, let's let your camera cool.
Okay, and the next thing that we've got here on the table for our MP7 series weapons is the modular carrying system. This one's actually really kind of a step up from, you know, the earlier tactical nylon type stuff. Now you see something that's, you know, more of a polymer Kydex type contraption here. This is actually a 3 configurable system. So what you see in this position here, belt loops and then 3 leg straps, this is meant to mount as more of a thigh rig. You can detach these top belt mounts and these thigh straps here and then mount through your belt loop and use it more of a hip level, and then you can take all that off, and there's actually a carrying vest that attaches to it that allows you to run it like a shoulder rig like we did here with spare mags on the other side. Unfortunately, I do not have the carrying vest here to display, so we'll set this up here as a thigh rig configuration. This works in concert with a replacement accessory Picatinny rail section. So the standard rail you can see just has Picatinny slots. The one that's designed for this modular carrying system has a female interface notch that you can see cut out there. That corresponds with this male interface there. And then you can see obviously the shape design of the rest of the mount. You mate these two things together, it locks in place, and then you have a thumb release. So you can notice I can either actuate the thumb release forward or backward, and that's what's going to manipulate the male portion of where it locks into place.
That is cool.
You'll also notice there's this triangular cutout here at the top. That is intended so that you have to put the weapon in the safe position in order for it to lock. And once it's locked, you cannot accidentally bump it to, you know, any of the fire positions. So once you have it on safe, just guide it into position and press down, and you will feel it lock into position. And then once it's in there, you use your thumb on the thumb release here and either sweep back or sweep forward and release it off of either your thigh, your hip, or your shoulder system. The shoulder rig also has an attachment that clips on just like it did here with a lanyard, and as you extend out, it'll extend your stock for you as well.
That's so gangster.
All right, we'll see it in action. Now, James, we've known each other for a few years. I didn't think you could get cooler.
Any cooler.
And then you showed up with that son of a bitch today.
It's pretty happening. You know, in this position, I mean, this looks cool, but you might say, why would someone want it in this setup. So think about a dog handler who needs to have his hands on the dog, but then may need to deploy something more capable than a handgun.
Yeah.
This is that situation. Or the shield operator. He's got a big heavy shield. He's maneuvering along with the stack. He may need to be setting something up, and then he can draw this out and fire one-handed behind the shield, and he can then reattach it versus dropping on a sling that's now dangling around and becoming a snag hazard as the rest of the team's moving through a narrow corridor. So a great advantage for this kind of setup.
That's what's up.
That's awesome.
Okay. You hit us with the big show here.
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay. So deployment on this, again, you just reach down and you can either sweep the toggle back or forward. I'm going to do forward. It'll release it off. Grab the stock, extend out, and burn it down. And then obviously you could just go and reload your magazines, run however you need to, and then if you need to redeploy the weapon, you just run it right back in and lock it back in.
It's pretty clean to go back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just run it right along and press on the inside. So it's not as smooth as dropping it into a holster, but it's pretty damn effective.
Pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the safety thing, I love the safety features. It's cool that you can only run it on safe.
Yeah.
Like with that cutout.
Yeah, it eliminates some of the concerns about this thing bouncing around. Maybe if I'm getting in and out of vehicle,
hit something.
Manipulate something, especially since, as you can see, it's aimed down at my foot right now. That you could have some concerns with there. But no, it's a very easy to deploy system. And again, I apologize for not having the shoulder rig system. It's even easier to deploy than the original system.
You're forgiven.
Very effective.
Yeah, we forgive you. That said, we shall now. All right, boys, final stage of the day. We can't really end this video without a good old-fashioned
Friendly competition.
man-on-man competition, you know?
Friendly, I prefer.
Yeah, we'll be friendly about it. So here's what you're going to do. You are a one-man security detail.
Okay.
And you have walked into a bad situation today. Your diplomat is here, and this awesome 2001, by the way, Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is the V8 model. I'm not saying that to flex. We're just, it is the V8 model. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna have your MP5. Yeah, it has a chain. Yeah. License plate cover. Yeah.
Period correct.
Okay. It's
Period correct.
It is nice. So what you're gonna do, we're gonna start with your MP5K briefcase. Okay. You're gonna come around the vehicle, and you will, obviously have it on your hips.
Hip thrust.
Not mandatory, but if you choose, thrust towards a target. And this steel target that is over here, hanging by the tire, basically in the time that it takes you to dump that mag, you can do it in burst or whatever you deem necessary. I wouldn't get like 5 yards away just out of safety, but how many hits, we'll try to count as we're each doing this. How many hits do you get on steel? Cool, I run dry. Set gingerly said vintage briefcase down. Now I will be taking off behind the Jeep Grand Cherokee. My security force of 1 has staged his MP7 briefcase.
Okay.
Grab MP7 briefcase, deploy it. Your target on the right has 2 little small exploding targets on it, which are pretty small back here. You have to blow up both of those targets, at which point, place your on the hood or wherever you want, transition to your pistol, and you've got to blow up the final target on the left.
Okay.
It's badass.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Here we go. Down, come around. Boom. Here we go. Can't see. Come on, stupid. You stupid. Swear. I think my dot is off here, boys.
So your hit factor's like a negative 37.8?
Well, you can see his hits are all low on the sub gun and on the pistol, but we can learn from his mistakes.
We can. What's the time?
Oh yeah, I mean it's
58, 53 with 2 mics.
Don't shoot the one on the bottom.
Hey,
Because the smoke
hey,
goes up.
hey, hey,
You gotta shoot one on the
hey,
top.
hey, hey.
Oh, come on.
Smoke rises.
Let me load up.
Damn! Come on, man!
It's like the scene in Dumb and Dumber when he shoots around Harry. It's exactly what it looks like.
It's so close.
Look at this thing escaping death.
Harry, you're alive! And you're a horrible shot!
This one too.
I was impressed with your first round impact on the first target. I was like, oh dang, Jake actually might do okay at this. Turns out, no.
Tell us why you shot the bottom one first.
Going for the dick.
I go bottom to top. That's how I stitch people up.
Oh.
All the way up.
Yeah, always bottom to top.
It's effective.
And then you got a hit and then continued to just like slowly burst fire?
Yeah, he kind of gamed that a little bit.
Okay.
But you had 4 impacts.
Yeah.
So
How many impacts do you need?
No, it's how many you get in the mag.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got 4 steel.
Yeah.
I blew up 1 target, and the other 2 targets were very evasive. One down. That's 1 hit, ladies and gentlemen. Late, so clean. What a birdie cheater. Cowardly.
There you go. This down here.
Cowardly.
There we go. 4079. Well done.
4079. I don't know how I scored this. You got 1 hit on steel. We've got 1 remaining target. I mean, this is very
I mean,
up for arguments.
I think I still had a little bit better performance and time.
I think I have more style.
Well, it's only because you're wearing that shirt.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what Papa Williamson here can do. Big Daddy maybe can take it home.
He has more experience and wisdom, so
He should win this.
hopefully.
He's an actual HK employee, my God.
I know. I've got all those things that should be working in my favor, right?
Currently, your nemesis is this case.
Is this case, yeah.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
Dirty cheater. Oh dear.
Time. 33:01.
Fuck yeah.
The most hits on steel. He did have 2 targets.
The disgrace to my people at the meet of Chris fucking hip shots.
Yeah. How was yours? Like, how did you do it? Were you more down or up?
I started down and I started to work the action up as I got, you know.
He did more of like a sway.
He just ran up point blank to a security threat and was like, not today, criminal.
I told you,
like,
this is a close range weapon. It's not meant for precision fire at distance. You got to close that distance.
Look, if we're going to go on an objective measure here. Time, James won on time.
James won on hits.
He did win on time.
James technically won on hits. Is there any argument for him having lost this?
Other than being a massive cheater and gaming the system, no. But you usually do that. Yeah. So,
I don't know about gaming the system. I was well within the range regulations. You never gave me a left and right lateral limit I couldn't move within.
He's making a fair point.
I just know that the MP5K operational briefcase is just not going to hit things from a distance.
See, I take that risk out in the wild. I start engaging targets from like 50 yards with that thing.
Yeah, because you don't care about the kids behind the throw.
No, I'll take the collateral.
Yeah, I feel pretty
And we all know he will.
and look at those hits. I mean, that's vertical alignment.
It was.
That's
And you had about 10 to 15 rounds on steel.
I
So
feel good about that.
Okay, so on that haunting note, that bombshell, some might say, we will see you next week.